Hello folks, welcome to I suppose what is phase one of the build out on old Bruce here as far as his micro camper living quarters are concerned. At least what we're going to start doing is changing out our Plano 36 cases that I've had on here for quite a while. They've been everywhere. I'll talk a little bit more about those later, but the reason I'm up here now, I have to take these off to get old Bruce back in the garage. So let's do that. Another reason I'm doing this, so I can get it in the garage, is so my poor neighbors will not think I'm any more psychotic than they already do. Me out here talking to myself. These Plano cases have 4 wing nuts with some carriage bolts on my Prinsu rack. 2 on either end. They just bolt directly to that. And like I said, so far, that's been absolutely stupendous of a setup for cargo boxes on old Bruce here. So I'm going to take these off and then pull off the boxes and move the vehicle into the garage. Man, I don't think I've had Bruce in the garage, well, since I put those boxes up there. So what are we going to be replacing these Plano boxes with? Twin Rome Adventure Company. I think these are the 85 liter cases. I don't lie, folks, I heavily invested in these. Then again, you're going to be spending most of your time, or all your time, full-time living in your vehicle. You're going to need some storage. And that's why I got these. The Planos, as I've said, absolutely brilliant. If you're not needing a lot of space, if you're not going really long term, completely love these Plano 36 cases. Now, if I love the Plano so much, why am I switching them out for these made of gold Rome cases? Well, the reason for that is, first of all, I need more space. I need to get as much out of old Bruce here as I possibly can. Move it up top or wherever else, so my big self, has more room inside the vehicle. I'm 6'4", I'm about 200 pounds, and then add everything else, add Leia, she's 80 pounds. We're going to be kind of running a surplus on not room. So the Rome cases are much bigger, plus they're made for this kind of application. They are, quote, overlanding cases, so they're made to be left out in the elements. They're made to be jostled around, put on a vehicle, whereas the Plano, God bless them, are not. So, you know me, folks, it's not going to be just a straight operation. Instead of drilling through the bottom of these Rome cases and bolting them onto the Prinsu rack the way I had the Planos, I actually got these from Sherpa Equipment Company. I believe that's what they're called. They will bolt on specifically. They're made for this application. They pass through the Rome case lip down and they bolt on to the Prinsu rack. The only thing is, and I don't want to get ahead of myself, they'll be a little tedious to take on and off. And I want something that's not tedious to take on and off. So I'm at least going to attempt to fabricate some little quick release clamps and put this up there to where I can take these bad boys on and off at will. Whether or not that's going to work out, we're about to see. It, in fact, did not work out. I've always said that a man's got to know his limitations.
Man's got to know his limitations.
Yeah, what I said. So instead of putting these quick release clamps up there, I'm just going to mount them up conventionally with that Sherpa T-bracket. The reason being, my little clamps, even though I'm confident that the concept was sound, these are just too long to mount up on those T-brackets like I was intending to do without building up the boxes. And the more I build them up, of course, it's going to act like a sail. I don't want to do that. So we're just going to cut our losses and mount these up the way that you're technically supposed to. So if you're interested in mounting up your Rome Adventure Company boxes to a Prinsu rack, I'm going to show you how to do it. So the cases are just dry fitted up here, and I wanted to have them as far back as I could to minimize the wind resistance, but it's going to throw off either having to attach it to this little small bar back here and adding another bar here, or scooting them forward to this one. What is that, 6 inches or so, and adding the bar back here. I think that's what I'm going to do. Keep in mind, on these 5th gen 4Runners, you have that little shark fin antenna, so I can't actually put a bar right here. It won't go over that antenna. So I believe that's going to be the solution. Go ahead and get this bolted on. Bolting these bad boys on with the Sherpa little T-bars here is extremely easy. You got the boxes up here. I've got them lined up with the very front bar here, and this is one of the earlier Prinsu racks, maybe one of the first ones, but they do not have the little cutouts on top to drop your carriage bolts down in there, and that's where these little beauties right here are going to come in handy. We got a little spring-loaded bearing. We'll pop those right in the track, like so. How about that? Super easy. And this is one of the things I got these cases for. Hydraulic lift. Won't have to worry about it. T goes in. Now it's just a matter of lining everything up. Something to note, however, I realized that these little bolts, or these little inserts, will only go in there and fit this one way. Make sure they're both facing the same direction, either like that or like that. And of course, after all that, I forgot to put the washer on there first. All right, there we go. 11mm socket, by the way. We'll do the back, and then we'll snug all these up here in just a second. And this just barely fits in there with this new bar I put on the rear of the Prinsu, pushed all the way up. But I think we're going to work. Gonna get these snugged up. I've got maybe about 100 miles on these Rome cases now, the 95Ls. So I'm going to give you a few observations that I've had over that time and tell you exactly how and what I used to put those up on top of the Prinsu rack. As you saw in the video, the road noise, strangely enough, is virtually non-existent. I thought that was going to be a big deal going from those Plano cases. Roughly, they're about double the height of the Planos. Didn't hear anything. Like I said, I put them as far back as I could, so hopefully that has something to do with it. But I really couldn't tell the difference between having the cases up there and not. I can't speak to the gas mileage just yet. I assume it would lower just a little bit. I'm getting about 17 miles to the gallon on old Bruce right now. But at the same time, about 100 miles, and it's not dipped any. So maybe that's not going to be affected either. Now, if you notice in the video, those cases did shift just a little bit when I was moving them around. I ended up getting up there, sitting on the cases, putting some weight on it, and then tightening up those bolts. I think that really helps secure them a lot better. I would recommend that you do that. Of course, be careful. I didn't put any Loctite on the bolts, at least not yet. Probably going to end up doing that. The only reason I didn't do it, I didn't want to chance any of that getting into those little whatever that goes into the extruded aluminum bars, those little attachment points. I didn't want to get that in there and risk locking them up inside. I'm sure I could break them loose, but yeah, I didn't put any Loctite on the bolts. I probably will in the future. Now, as far as tools go, you saw everything that I used in the video. I use a little AC Delco electric ratchet. This is the second electric ratchet I ever had. The first one just died on me, kind of the Amazon special type. This one still going strong. Even though you don't have to have something like this, my God, it has like 1,000 uses. So I highly recommend you get one. The socket I was using, of course, if you can use a wrench, you saw me using that little wrench up top there when I was too lazy to get down. 11 millimeters, that's what you need for those bolts that come with the Sherpa Equipment Company T-brackets. A little extension here. I think this is it's about a 3-inch extension. You don't have to have this, again, but being able to move your ratchet outside of the box gives you a lot more torque to get those bolts tightened down perfectly. Yeah, that's literally all you need to attach the Rome Adventure Company cases using the Sherpa T-mounts. Again, that's the 95-liter case. I think they make them for virtually every Rome case that's manufactured today at the time of this video. One thing I really want to stress, folks, is going to be the locks. I've heard a lot of people talk about how the Rome cases, the little eyes that the locks go through, are too small. In my experience, it's not been those little eyes per se. It's been the actual plastic in between the latches that's been limiting to the locks. This is my second set of locks having tried that did not work. The first one, I think, were some Master weatherproof locks I got from Home Depot. These are Master Lock 3QLDs. They don't fit either. I've looked up a few things on Reddit. You can search for it yourself. I think it's the 75 IB30 ABUS locks. I know for sure are supposed to work. I've seen pictures of it. I've got some generic weatherproof locks on the way from Amazon that'll be here in a couple days. And I'm hoping those are going to work because, like I said, it's getting kind of tiresome finding locks for these bastards. Now, as I've stated, folks, these cases are not cheap. I don't mind telling you how much I gave for them. I bought them literally the cheapest place I could find back just before Christmas. I gave just under $300 a piece. Yeah. That's a little steep, but it's good to know that these cases are technically manufactured for the use that I'm using them for, those Plano cases. Like I said, I love them, but who knows how long they're actually going to last. But, you know, who knows how long these Rome cases are going to last, but we're sure enough going to find out. The things that I love the most about them, of course, are the complete hermetic sealing. They're airproof, they're waterproof, they have drains, they have bottle openers on them. They're extremely structurally stable. Like I said, I weigh close to 300 pounds and I can walk on them. I can sit on them. That really adds a lot of versatility and a lot of security as far as I'm concerned for how much these cases can actually take. Last but not least, folks, I mentioned back in the Christmas video a few months ago how this channel is going to be transitioning from straight photography and reviews, that kind of thing, to more of all-encompassing channel, because a lot of things that I do that involve photography happen on the periphery. Everything happens on the outside, and I feel like I've really been neglecting that. As I move out full-time on the road, things are going to evolve to more like this, everything that I do to facilitate what I do as far as my work with a camera. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, as always, folks, you know where to put those down in the comments. I will literally do anything I can to help you out with it if you want to go this route that I have with these Rome Adventure Company cases. Yeah, I guess that's about it. Till next time, guys, thanks a lot for being here. And,